Ken Show, John Cobell and Ken Shampoo, KFI, AM 640. A major victory for virtually every Californian today. The 50% gas reduction mandate in Senate Bill 350 is dead. Dead. They gave up. They pulled out.
Buried. And apparently, in announcing this last hour, Governor Jerry Brown really lost it.
Well,
we got a report from Steve Greenhut, who covers the Capitol for the San Diego Union Tribune, who witnessed this news event and just said it was fun. It was not just him. Tony Atkins, the outgoing Assembly Speaker, we put her in a dumpster last week, and they're removing her, the Democrats are, as their Assembly Speaker. Also delusional and just pretty much saying that now this is the end of the universe.
The universe is at stake here. And Brown, apparently, Greenhut described him as unhinged. And it looks like he was acting like one of those crazy religious gurus who shakes their fist at the sun and insists that the world is about to end if we don't all repent. And it's a strange merging of this weird pagan religion they belong to, and try to drag the Pope in, because remember the Pope had been speaking out against global warming. So Brown tried to merge his pagan religion with the traditional Catholic religion, and he turned it into this debate about apparently you're immoral if you drive a car. You're an immoral person, and you're destroying the planet if you live in the suburbs.
So you're lining up with the oil companies against the Pope, Obama, Jerry Brown.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the great messiahs of our time. Now, we have the audio.
Oh, yeah.
It just came in. Ray's got to play it off his computer. This is...
it's really fresh.
It's very fresh. It's steaming. It's unedited, so we're just going to stop and start it along the way.
Sure.
We don't know exactly what's in it other than Steve Greenhut's description, and we don't know how long it goes, but let's get it started and see where it goes.
Just look, I take it you're not surprised that when the state of California says in law we're going to cut the sales of the most powerful industry in the world by 50%, that there's some resistance. This is not a 6 months program. This is at least a 6-year or longer effort to turn our whole economy, because in fact we depend on oil. Everyone got here with oil. Oil is at the heart of modern prosperity, and yet it has the destructive impact that it's going to undermine that prosperity very quickly. So we have to move off it. Moving off it takes hundreds of billions of dollars of investment.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. So you understand where he's coming from. We haven't exaggerated this. He wants to remove oil from our society entirely because it will destroy
us. Right.
Okay?
He said it really built up a nice life, but we got to get rid of it.
All of it. So he wants to destroy the oil industry and wants to destroy our use of oil in its entirety. So understand what kind of a fanatic we're dealing with here. Continue.
It takes regulation to push that change. It's not a change that's coming willingly. I've spent hours with oil company executives. They're doing their job as they see it, And it's up to the public to be able to create the framework. Governor Schwarzenegger signed AB32, then the oil companies tried to repeal it with an initiative, and here we are again. So I would say that over my next 3 years, you're going to see a continuing effort to ratchet up the state commitment to cleaning up our air, reducing carbon pollution, and thereby setting an example for the rest of the world to try to save us before it's too late. Because climate change is not some little issue that of a governor or anybody else here. This is an existential threat to your children. And everybody's talking about what's happened to me. I'll be fine, at least for the next 15 or 20 years, however long I'm going to be around. You won't be. And it's going to be a devastating kind of destructive weather system that you're going to endure unless we can make the turn. And that's why I've made such a big thing out of this. Based on my entire life experience, this is the most serious threat that a state government can do anything positive about. And we're doing more than any other state government. We didn't get this one. But through the regulations that on low-carbon fuel that will be announced next week by California Air Resources Board, we'll take another step. And we'll continue to take steps at some level, whether it takes an initiative or whether it takes continued debate and more scientific reports, we'll get there. But getting this bill, not getting it, that part of it, look, we haven't got India. We haven't got the United States Congress. We haven't got Brazil. The world isn't going to make it unless a huge change of heart and change of the way we do business occurs. California is pushing in the direction of a positive change. This is one skirmish, but I will tell you it's increasing the intensity of my commitment to do everything I can to make sure that we reduce oil consumption in California and continue on the path of leading the world in a sustainable future. And we're going to do that.
How much can you do by executive order to get to the
executive order? Oh, no.
Well, we're going to do we'll do exactly what we were going to do. The Air Resources Board has great authority. The whole debate last night, and I talked to the representatives from Chevron, was somehow weaken the Air Resources Board authority. If we would have said we'll weaken the authority, they would have been for the bill 100%. But because we're keeping the authority, they had to kill that part of the bill. All right, fine. But going forward, the authority is in place. The regulatory regime will continue on the low carbon fuel standard and the ZEV mandate and all the other things that will get us.
Zero emission vehicle.
You know, it's not easy. If you're talking about a 50% reduction in petroleum, it takes many, many steps over many, many years. So I think where we are, we're about the same where the only thing we don't have is a formal statement in law of the 50% goal. But the ARB is committed to that 50% goal, and I'm committed to backing them up and doing whatever I can.
This is naked guy in the park here.
Listening to legislative complaints and issues regarding the ARB and the law and all the other things. I will listen to what people have to say as well as what the oil companies have to say. But at the end of the day, we have to see a continuous forward movement in decarbonizing the economy of this country.
Why?
Is that where it
Again,
ended
why?
Last night, sir? That was a question I was going to ask. I mean, there's still language floating around.
Because you're a fanatic?
Trying to fix that part. When did you say?
Look, we had a long discussion. It's very simple. If we said turn every rule that the ARB makes over to the legislature, then we get the bill. If we don't do that, then they kill it. That's just that simple. And the way they can kill it is because a lot of people, this is complicated stuff. This is deep science. And it's going to take a while to get everybody on board. But I have no doubt.
Religious hysteria.
Science is clear. The growing authority is evident. And so we might get another bill next year. We might just keep doing it by regulation. And I'll keep pushing the oil companies. I'll keep talking to the legislators. We'll do the best we can. But California is not going to miss a beat. Be very clear about that. We don't have a declaration.
Wait, stop a second. They have no impact on the global climate. None. You realize he's been ranting now for 3 or 4 minutes. California has no effect on the global climate. He admitted as such. He admitted that the rest of the U.S. is doing nothing, that India, China are doing nothing. And besides that, what is he yelling about? That the temperature is going to go up 1 degree over 100 years from now if they were right? And, of course, they've been wrong all along. Remember, they said we were going to have all these horrible hurricanes that was going to destroy all this property and kill thousands of people. We've had no major hurricanes hit land in 10 years. Remember when they said that children are going to grow up never knowing snow, and they had one of the worst winters in history, recorded history? Last year, remember they said the Arctic ice cap would be gone by 2015? It's not. It's far from gone. It's still there, and it's still strong. They were just running a thing on the internet, replaying ABC News in 2007, did a special report on by 2015, all the terrible things that would happen in the U.S. because of the climate. They were wrong on every single one of them. They're wrong. Look at this as a religious cult. Hysteria. Like remember when 2000 came? Remember when the new millennium started and there were people who sold their homes, quit their jobs, packed up their kids, and they were standing on a hillside out in the Middle East somewhere with their arms spread out, and they were expecting Jesus to descend from the clouds. They really did that. That's what he's about. And Mary Nichols and Kevin DeLeon, listen to him talk and imagine him as the crazy guy in the park. He's nuts. We have somebody who's mentally deranged running government and trying to destroy our way of life. And he admits it. He says they have to get rid of all the oil that's in our society and in our economy. All of it.
Remember, they passed the Global Warming Solutions Act in 2006. It's 9 years ago. They thought the country, the world was going to follow them. It didn't happen.
No. We're doing this, and now what do we have? We have $4 gas, and everybody else is paying $2.25. And a lot of that increase is because of, like, the global warming tax.
They're asking us to make a lot of sacrifices so this deluded crowd led by Jerry Brown can claim some sort of victory to the world that California's leading the way. It's crazy stuff.
Look at your electricity bill. Then call one of your friends or relatives back east. See what they're paying for electricity. Okay? You'll fall over dead when you see the difference. But talk about boiling a lobster. It's happened little by little by little, month by month, year by year for the last 10 years. And it's just nothing but fanaticism. It hasn't affected the Earth. It hasn't affected the Earth's temperature at all. It's just cost us a lot of money. And who do you think has benefited from all the money? Well, they're taking billions with this global warming tax, and they're giving it to all the democratically connected special interests who are involved in high-speed rail. It's a scam. It's a sham. It's a complete shakedown. These guys are crooks.
All right, for now, they've been stopped. You just heard the audio of Jerry Brown at the news conference last hour announcing they have taken the gas reduction mandate out of Senate Bill 350.
John and Ken Show and Libby Dinkman is news.